Buddhist monks have mastered staying calm in any situation, and I'm going to show you how busy moms can use their techniques too. I discovered how Buddhist monks maintain their inner calm and adapted their practices for real mom life. Screaming kids, endless to-do lists, and complete chaos included. These monk-inspired techniques took me from feeling overwhelmed every single day to actually staying centered when my kids are having simultaneous meltdowns. Monks don't live in perfect silence. They stay calm because they know something about the mind that most of us have never learned. I'm going to share 5 specific monk practices that you can do in under 60 seconds each, so you can find that same unshakable calm in your everyday mom life. And there's one technique that will completely change the way your children handle their big emotions too. Here's what nobody tells you about being a mom. You can have a completely quiet house, but still feel like your nervous system is on high alert. Just last month, I finally got the kids to bed by 7:30 and the house was finally quiet. But instead of relief, I felt my chest tighten. Every stray thought kept pinging inside of my head. Did I make the right choice on that outfit? Are my kids gonna sleep through the night? Did I pack their snacks for tomorrow? I paced for nearly an hour in the living room, taking deep breaths, repeating my affirmations, but nothing worked. My body still felt like it was mid-race, even though there was nowhere left to run. Inner calm isn't about having a silent house or perfectly well-behaved children. It's about being able to stay present even when things get messy. And there's a specific reason why this feels so impossible, even on your quietest days. Your nervous system carries what I call emotional residue, the weight of managing everyone else's needs before your own. You've been operating in crisis mode for so long that your body doesn't know how to power down, even when things are peaceful. Most of us think calm will arrive when we check every box on our endless to-do list. But that moment rarely comes because there's always another box to tick, another person to help, another problem to solve. The breakthrough happens when you realize your nervous system can learn new patterns. These aren't complicated meditation practices that require an hour of silence. They're tiny moments that you can weave into your existing day. There are 2 invisible forces working against your inner calm, and once you see them, everything will change. The first is hyper-responsibility, that compulsion to fix everyone's mood and manage every little detail. Just last week, while working on a family renovation project, I was juggling multiple design revisions when someone started having second thoughts about a layout decision. Even though we'd already sorted it out, I immediately felt the urge to save them from feeling overwhelmed. I sat down with sketches, mood boards, 3D renders, literally redrew and re-explained everything on the spot. In the middle of it all, my daughter burst into tears because she had spilt paint from a morning craft project. Instead of stepping back, I grabbed a towel, cleaned up the mess, then immediately went back to reassuring everyone about the design. By 5 p.m., I was exhausted, and I realized that in trying to solve everyone else's stress, I had completely sacrificed my own peace of mind. The second force runs even deeper. Many of us learned early that being calm, helpful, and good meant that we were safe and we were loved. Your nervous system is still running that old program. If I can just manage everything perfectly, then everyone will be okay. Recognizing these patterns isn't about blaming yourself. It's about realizing you've outgrown them. You don't need to fix everything to be worthy of love and peace. These 5 practices will rewire those old patterns, and I'm going to save the most powerful one for last. It's the practice that actually changes how your children handle their big emotions. Practice 1, the doorway pause. Before you re-enter any room or any situation, take 1 deep breath. Pause. Here's why this works. Your nervous system carries emotional residue from what you were just doing. When you rush from task to task without pausing, you're bringing that frantic energy into every new situation. The doorway becomes a natural transition point, a physical reminder to reset your internal state. Let me tell you about the first time this actually worked for me. I had just finished a 6-hour strategy session and my head was buzzing. It was 3 p.m. and my daughter was about to come home from school. Instead of dashing to meet her at the gate while still lost in spreadsheets, I spent a full minute standing in the front hallway, closing my eyes, taking 3 slow, deliberate breaths, and reminding myself, you are not your to-do list. When she skipped inside, I was somehow calmer. My shoulders weren't tight. My voice stayed neutral. She looked up at me and said, "Mama, you're happy today." This breaks the momentum of rushing and lets you arrive with presence instead of urgency. Your children will feel the difference immediately when you enter a room centered rather than frazzled. Buddhist teachers call this non-reactivity. You're choosing how you want to show up instead of being pulled along by the chaos. Practice 2, slow body reset. For just 60 seconds, move slowly on purpose. Fold that towel with intention. Walk to the kitchen at half your normal speed. Pour your coffee like it's a meditation. Here's the science behind this. Your body and mind are in constant communication. When your body moves frantically, it sends signals to your brain that you're in emergency mode. By deliberately slowing your physical movements, you're literally telling your nervous system, "We're safe. There's no emergency here." Ancient monastic wisdom teaches that slowing the body slows the mind. Monks have known for centuries what neuroscience is now proving, that changing your physical rhythm is one of the fastest ways to shift your mental state. When everything feels urgent, this practice reminds your nervous system that everything is not an emergency. It's like hitting a reset button that only takes seconds but creates hours of calm. Practice 3, reparenting whisper. When you feel that familiar surge of, "I have to fix this right now," gently whisper to yourself, "I am safe now. I don't have to fix everything." Here's why this works so powerfully. Most of us developed hyper-responsibility patterns as children. Maybe you learned that being helpful and fixing things meant that you were loved and safe. Your nervous system is still running that old program, even though now you're the adult in charge. This whisper isn't positive thinking, it's reparenting. You're giving your nervous system the message it needed to hear years ago, but never received. Your body responds to reassurance more than reasoning, because safety is felt, not thought. The key is the whisper. Speaking gently to yourself activates what psychologists call the soothing system, and that's the same neural pathway that is activated when someone you love speaks kindly to you. You are literally becoming the calm, reassuring parent to your own nervous system. Practice 4, grounding gratitude. In the most mundane moment of your day, washing dishes, folding laundry, waiting in the car, say aloud one small thing that you're grateful for. Here's the neuroscience. Gratitude literally rewires your brain. When you actively acknowledge something good, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the same chemicals that anti-anxiety medications are designed to boost. But unlike external remedies, this creates lasting change in your neural pathways. The key is doing this during mundane moments, not just when things are going well. By pairing routine activities with gratitude, you're training your brain to notice what's working instead of constantly scanning for problems. It's like switching your mental default setting from threat detection to appreciation mode. This is not about forcing fake positivity. Gratitude shifts your emotional state with minimum effort because it grounds you in what's actually present instead of what's missing or what's wrong. Even acknowledging something as simple as "I'm grateful for hot water" while washing dishes can shift your entire nervous system. Practice 5, the thought check. When a stressful thought storms through your mind, "I'm failing as a mother, this day is a disaster, could it get any worse? I can't handle this." Simply say, "This is just a thought. I don't need to follow it." Here's what most people don't understand. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are like a radio playing in the background. Sometimes the station is playing beautiful music. Sometimes it's static and noise. The problem isn't the thoughts themselves. It's when we believe every thought is true and every thought is urgent. Buddhist teaching describes the mind as the sky and the thoughts as clouds. Clouds pass through, but they don't change the vastness of the sky. When you recognize a thought as just a cloud passing through, you stop being swept away by every mental storm. I'll never forget the first time I actually caught one of these thoughts. I had spent hours creating a lead magnet for my blog and I posted it and I was really excited and I thought it would immediately get hundreds of downloads. But hours later, it still had 0 downloads. My mind immediately spiraled. You're failing at this. No one cares about your freebie. You should just quit. In the past, that thought would have sent me into a 2-hour spiral of self self-doubt. But this time I paused and I literally said out loud, that's just my fear talking. Who knows how many eyes will see this by tomorrow morning? Instead of scrolling and refreshing for validation, I spent the next hour mapping blog topics. The next morning, 3 people had downloaded the lead magnet in its first 12 hours. The magic happens when you create space between you and your thoughts. You are the sky, not the storm. Here's what shifts when these become part of your daily rhythm. You stop reacting to every little thing and start noticing what's actually happening. You don't need the whole world to be quiet. You just need one moment to return to yourself. Just last week, when one of the kids' award ceremonies ran 40 minutes late and I could feel my daughter starting to get cranky because it was past her bedtime, I could feel the panic rising. They haven't even had dinner yet. I've got so much work to finish tonight. When is this thing going to be over? In the past, I might have snapped at her or rushed everyone out of there. Instead, I took a deep breath, loosened my jaw, and said, it's okay, we'll grab some food on the way back if we need to. As we were driving home, my daughter said, Mama, this has been the best day ever. As you keep practicing these, something beautiful happens. Your children start borrowing your calm because you have it to give them. They watch you take that doorway pause and learn that they can slow down too. They hear you whisper to yourself and realize they can be gentle with their own big feelings. My son has even started saying, okay, 3 deep breaths when he's on the verge of frustration. If you want to dive deeper into creating calm in your daily life, I've got something special for you. There is one evening routine I started that completely transformed how my family handles bedtime chaos. No more tears, no more battles, just connection. Check out this video right here, and I'll show you exactly how to turn bedtime from stressful to sacred so that your evenings can become the peaceful reset that your entire family needs. Which of these 5 practices spoke to you the most? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing how you're bringing calm into your own days.